yourself, and then they judge you on the internet till everybody hates you for it.
Or they like, be yourself, you know, but they don't really want you to think for yourself. They want you to think within the group. They're like, oh, you can be gay, but you better vote a certain way. It's like, oh, you're free to be gay. Oh, you're black? Yeah, you're free to be black. We want
as long as you vote a certain way.
But just vote a certain way. It's like,
that's kind of not free.
Go to the drop real quick. Okay.
Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns.
I'm offended.
I'm offended. I'm offended.
Well, let's rate it because this is a very loaded song. We could go on and on and on and on. Howdy. Wyo, Russ here.
And Chris.
Welcome back to another Montana Guys React.
We're reacting today to Tom MacDonald and Clown World.
Have you heard anything from Tom MacDonald?
I thought you showed me one other.
Fake Woke.
Yeah.
That was a good song. Actually, you guys should go back and watch that. We tried to do a reaction to it. We just had some technical difficulties.
As we're having technical difficulties now, and we're having canine difficulties, he wants to be right here because he's really wanting to go out, but he doesn't really have to pee. He just wants us to think he's got to go pee. He just wants to go out and play in the snow. That's what he wants.
I love you. You're an attention whore. Before we get into this, if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. We want our subscribers to go up. And here we go. This is Clown World.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't.
I have to stop it. All lives matter.
To get offended at all lives matter.
Well, let's just face it. People get offended way too often.
Yeah.
Over stupid stuff. I mean, they should really be getting offended at things that actually are crazy, but people like to stretch things and make things that aren't that crazy way crazy.
Yeah. I'm offended at politicians telling us one thing and then doing another.
Oh, that's an actually real way to be offended.
I'm offended.
From both sides of the aisle, man.
Yeah.
Oh, all lives matter. He did make a line like that. In theory, until I found out that all lives matter was actually bad, I would have thought all lives matter meant like black, white, cops, not cops.
Well, doesn't it? That's what it means. All lives matter.
Yeah, but a lot of people say it's like discrediting the Black Lives
Matter
movement.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I just think like moving forward, we should all be equal.
Okay, so I am really starting to believe that highlighting our differences at every turn is something that just serves to separate us. At this point, I mean, our country is how old? You know, we have eliminated a lot of the discrepancies. There's more to do, but we just need to start seeing each other as people. As brothers and sisters, no matter what color of skin, we're all descended from the same original genetic stock. We're all related back there somewhere, no matter what we look like today. And that's the way we should start thinking of ourselves.
I agree.
I love the differences, but I think we should just do everything on a level playing field.
And he looks like a clown. He's definitely clowning around.
He's clowning around.
He does say stuff that like is kind of scary to say because people can easily cancel you because they're offended. But he says it anyways, which is actually pretty sweet. He goes pretty hard.
Okay.
Here we go.
We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness. I'm offended that you're offended by me taking offense. Can't build a wall. Why?
I'm offended that you're offended that I'm taking an offense. Or...
I'm offended that you're offended that I'm offended.
It is true, though. I mean, if you really thought this guy was like racist or anything, it's like, no, he's actually singing for everybody. Everybody. All lives. He's singing for everybody in a positive way.
Yeah, so far I have no problem with what he's doing.
His freaking videos though are crazy.
Yeah, they are crazy.
That's a mean looking like porcupine jacket. That is straight up.
I wouldn't want to hug his ass.
No. And his face. He is scary. Like I have to admit, like if I walked down an alleyway and I saw him, I'd be like, I'm going the other way.
You'd be offended.
I'd be super offended, dude.
No, you'd just
I'm
be scared.
Offended now that I would be offended if I would see him. I'm offended.
You wouldn't know what to think.
Does your house have a fence? I believe in two genders. I'm not mad at the rest. I'm just confused when a dude has a beard and some breasts. We won't.
Okay, I don't know. That's a whole thing to unwrap.
This
is all like every line is actually stoppable moments.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's a
we'll
pretty
never
loaded
get through
line.
Those are very loaded lines. I get that there's male and female, but they go back to it's in the Bible. There's male and female. But that's not exactly true.
But there's some truth to it. Like, yeah,
Some
you need
truth.
you need a
A
male,
lot of truth
You need a male and a female to have offspring
for humans.
for humans.
But there are species that only need females. There
Yeah.
are species
called?
that there are parthenogenesis.
Okay.
And they don't need a guy to fertilize any egg. They just go ahead and do it themselves. And so they're genetically identical unless during the splitting of the egg there is something that happens and a little bit of genetic aberration that happens to put a little bit of diversity in. But there are
Yeah.
species that are only female. And of course, when it comes to fish and some amphibians, they can be male at one part of their life or female at another part of their life, or it can go back and forth depending upon the population dynamics right then and what that triggers hormones in individuals. So
Okay.
it's just,
That's a run-on.
it is a run. Hey,
But-
it's biology.
Well, yeah. I honestly, at the end of the day, if someone's 18 years old and a good person, I don't care if they're trans or something. And if they're
don't
working
care,
hard,
period.
that's the thing. Is like at the end of the day, I really don't care. Like, and I mean that in a good way. Like, yeah, if you're a good person, I'll be your friend. But I do think typically, like to have kids, obviously you need a male and a female. That's just the way it works. I'm talking biology, right there.
Reproductive biology.
Reproduction biology. But I always find it weird. Like, what if somebody's born with like an odd number of chromosomes that have like 2X and a Y, which does happen? Where do you gender them? I'm just asking the question. Or let's say somebody is literally born intersex. Where do you gender them? If you say they're
Inter?
just male or just female, it's like, well, where do you put them? I guess inter. That is kind of a side category between the two, right?
So apparently some Native American tribes recognize 7 different genders, and it didn't necessarily have to do just with genitalia.
Yeah.
So, and I can't tell you what those were.
Who
I
freaking
know
knows?
that there's the term birdash, which is men that are biologically men that dress as women, and maybe you write the opposite too. I'm not as
Okay.
well versed on it as I should.
We better
be.
get into the song. That was a loaded
Yeah.
thing.
Loaded.
This whole video is going to be very loaded.
Yeah.
Though. And we'll probably miss a whole bunch.
Don't always agree. Nope, I don't hate all police. Nope, I don't think that the system's racist. I just think the system hates people. I think fighting violence with more violence is what they want.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. You can't fight violence with violence and ask for peace. It doesn't make sense.
2 wrongs don't make a right. That's the way I think about
Violence is not a good way to get peace. It's stupid.
it. No.
Viruses and riots, people dying, we won't stay home. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud. Painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie. I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. When I was a child, the only races that we hated were the ones that we ran and didn't win. Then we stopped playing with each other, started hating on each other, started noticing the color of our skin. Christians and atheists, immigrants, patriots. We love the country, but we are not saving it. Wages don't raise to the rate of inflation, and half of the country hates all of the nation. It's funny that we think the world owes us something.
It is crazy, the divide between
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like, we
There's a
literally
lot of
had
good
a friend-
messages in here.
Yeah, we had a friend literally pretty recently. I won't say names or nothing, but that said he would not be friends with somebody if they voted for Trump. We hear that all the time. I'm sure it's on both sides of the aisle. I just think that's stupid when you have literally close to half the country that voted one way and half the country that voted another way. If you divide and you blanket statement saying everybody who voted this way is bad, it's like, dude, that's like judgmental as F.
And that's just one thing. And I mean, it's an important decision, but it's just one decision and one thing that they do. I find it hard to boil people down to one viewpoint that they possess.
How can you get mad at somebody for voting for the lesser of two evils? You voted for the one that's a little bit more evil. I can't be friends with you, but I do recognize they're both evil. But you didn't vote for the one that's lesser of evils. It's like, dude, that's not like, why are you being so mean to someone? That's not a good situation. That's like asking for failure.
I have strong opinions on what I would love to see happen, but I better not go into them here.
I really am for just like trying to actually come together, and instead of dividing, like this is his message. Why
Don't
are we trying to
divide.
divide each other? Let's try to come together and actually support each other, black, white, or Christian or atheist. Let's come together and actually communicate and try to support each other and give each other love. That's one of the cool things. Like, let's literally love each other. Let's be respectful. Let's work hard for each other. Let's hear people's different opinions. And also, it's okay not to always agree with somebody.
Because you're never going to agree with everybody.
That's why I like this Anthony Bourdain quote. I'll show you.
I don't have to agree with you, to like you, or respect you. I think that's a great quote. Fits well with this video. You're right.
That we think the world owes us something. All the phones got smart, but the people so dumb. We care more about the likes on a selfie than our moms, and the only time we ever speak the truth when we're drunk. We won't always agree. No, I don't hate all police. No, your thoughts and opinions ain't facts, and they are not defining my reality. No, I think picking sides divides. It's probably what has got us here. United States is great regardless. That's what we forgot in here.
United we stand, United we stand,
Divided we fall.
divided we fall. That's a crazy, crazy quote.
It's a truth. It's a
Who
truth.
actually said that quote?
I don't know. I just
I can
have
look it
always
up.
heard it. We could look it up, but
His video is very clownish. He definitely achieved that.
yeah, it's a good video thus far. Most all of the message I like this.
Unfortunately, a lot of the people probably are not going to listen to the lyrics. They're just like, oh, he's racist. He's talking about all these sensitive issues. Because sometimes just by talking about sensitive issues and asking questions, it makes you like the bad person. It's like, dude, he's not actually, he's just questioning the system.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I question the system.
Same.
I question just about everything he's questioning here.
And he's not picking a side. He's not saying, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. He looks like he's just questioning things. Maybe he's an independent.
I have no idea. I don't know him. Don't know anything about him. Never sat down and had a meal with him. And that's what I think is important, is sitting down and having meals with people, which has been very difficult during COVID. But that's what's important, is getting around a table and having food, drink, and good conversation.
This is probably a blanket statement, but it's often hard to be mean to somebody face to face. But online, it's a lot easier to point and be like, you're bad. But face to face, you say stuff a little bit differently. You're more respectful.
And the algorithms just end up bringing information to you, and you end up getting in your own, what is it called, echo chamber?
Oh, yeah.
So you think that everybody thinks the same, or at least the people that you know and kind of like or think you like, and then the others are then the others that don't think like that. They're something else.
And I think I'm wrong, because actually I saw a lot of protesters screaming at each other face to face. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was hoping there was more.
we
hope in
did
the
see
world.
some of that, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was face to face. I'm like, why were you
But
you
I
don't
think
even know
those-
that person. You're just telling them they're racist or something, and you don't even know them. What did they do that was racist? And if you have an example, maybe that's different. But sometimes people are just like, oh, you voted for him, you're racist. It's like, dude, that's harsh.
People have different reasons for making the decisions that they do.
And if you water down the words like racism, then they don't have a lot of impact, because they're watered down. There's a reason people use it, and you should use it when there's actually a reason, a real reason, not a made up one.
Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is shutting up a civil war. Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes. They tell you be yourself, and then they judge you on the internet till everybody hates you for it. If Jesus was alive, I swear to God they all would cancel him, cause lately being negative's the real new normal.
Oh man, those are some good lines, dude.
Those are
They do tell you to be yourselves. Or they're be yourself, but they don't really want you to think for yourself. They want you to think within the group. They're like, oh, you can be gay, but you better vote a certain way. It's like, oh, you're free to be gay. Oh, you're black? Yeah, you're free to be black. We want
As long as you vote a certain
but
way.
just vote a certain way. It's like, that's kind of not free. And then, of course, Jesus being canceled because he's all about love. Spread the love. He's like, no, that's not how we do that. Love does not sell nowadays, man. It's hate. And that is kind of
That's scary.
partially the truth.
That's scary, yeah.
We do. We usually get more views if we do a cringe face in the thumbnail rather than a love face.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, if we kiss in the thumbnail, that also does well. So maybe there's hope. Love does sell sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you're thick, you're fat, you're rich, you're bad, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're whack, they lie, it's facts. My generation needs a bunch of free condoms, cause common sense ain't that common. This is what they wanted, this is how they planned it. This is to control everyone on the planet.
I had heard that actually, birth rates are going down with COVID in the U.S.
And I haven't looked into it.
So maybe we don't actually need condoms.
You
Maybe
told
he's
me that.
wrong. That's what I'd heard.
Well, there was a while that the bars were closed down, so there weren't really good ways to go out and just meet up and hook up and Go
heard it.
home with somebody.
Well, I heard it online. It must be true.
It must be true. All right, let's go ahead.
Control everyone on the planet. And we put each other in caskets, protest and panic. And they take advantage to manage the damage. We won't always agree. Nope, freedom doesn't come free. No, there was people fighting, dying overseas so that you could have freedom and be home. I think the elites are real, but they ain't drinking babies' blood. They're creating chaos so they have something to save you from. Black lives matter, all lives matter. What's all this division for? It's modern segregation. This is setting up a civil war. Burn the circus down.
The drop's good. The beat's good.
Yeah.
Like, he's good at what he does, and he really is talking about issues that people are afraid to talk about.
Yep.
I think it's about the elites trying to divide us through like stupid stuff, so we're not against them.
Yeah, there's really class warfare going on, but they want to take the our vision is that our view off of that, so that we don't see what's really going on. We're looking at all this smoke and mirrors of all these other ways we've been divided. And I agree with this guy.
I agree too.
I totally agree with this guy.
I've so far almost every song he's done, I've agreed. And it's even if it was something that like made me question or made me uneasy, it was a good uneasy.
There's nothing bad with someone making you question your belief system. Okay.
Burn the circus down, cause the world is full of clowns. They're all stupid and they're proud, painted smiles on their mouths. I don't hang with bozos, homie, I can't be around you. Anyone who knows me knows my feet don't fit in clown shoes.
Videos by Nova Rockefeller.
Good job, man. That was really good.
I like that song.
It wasn't like my favorite sound of all songs I've ever heard, but it still sounded awesome.
I think it's got a great beat, and like you said, the drop and
the meaning was cool, man.
The meaning was cool.
And
I
that's a
agree
huge
with
importance
most
to me.
all the lines.
Yeah, there was a lot of them, so we couldn't cover all of them. I mean, every line was loaded. He definitely thinks about every line, and he puts a lot of detail into their song or his song.
Yeah, and I like that he's just not sitting out there drinking the Kool-Aid. I get that he is, like you say, thinking about things. He's questioning everything.
I think that was the best part about growing up in a church that could be considered cultish in some ways.
Okay.
Is it taught me to question things at a young age, because I was questioning my church and like the hate associated with it, them calling everybody the others that were good people, saying, hey, those are others. They're Mormons. They're in a cult. And I'm just sitting here like, I have friends that are Mormon at school. Like, what are they talking about? They're just kids. Like, you guys are saying a whole like religion is going to hell. Like I just didn't understand the hate. And now I question that with like politics and stuff too. It's like, I'm not going to sit there and hate somebody just because they voted for somebody when I don't even know them.
What I think is, it's not funny, it's sad, but it's also humorous, is you have all of these different divisions in religion. They're worshiping the same creator or the same God, yet because someone doesn't believe exactly like this, they split apart, and then they're the others, and we're the only ones over here that's serving the true God, and God's on our side. And, you know, it's like there's something else now that there's been a split. And look how many splits and splits and splits and splits. It's like, I just don't think anyone's always right, and probably not anyone's always wrong.
Yeah. And you got to be able to like watch a politician and critique him fairly. And regardless, even if he's on the same side of the aisle as you, you better be able to be objective about him.
Well, here's the thing. You need to critique their actions and their decisions rather than just what they say. And even that can be difficult because of the way our system is set up, which I think is screwed in that, you know, with a bill can be like that thick, a stack of papers that thick. Does anyone have the ability to make a sound decision on something that's written out that long? They're voting on things that they have no clue what's in there. And I've said before, someone may write a bill, and by the time everyone else amends it, and does all this crazy stuff to it, they can't even vote for the bill that they originally wrote because it's already so screwed up. I think our system should be changed so that you vote on a bill, and it's very, very limited. It has to do with one point. That's what we're voting on, so we can see what your true thought process and decision is on that. But we're not even close to getting to sanity with that.
It's triggering things for you, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's a rabbit hole, kind of.
Oh, yeah. I'm
That was
kind
like
of
a rabbit
I'm
hole. I have
ticked
no
off
idea
right
what
now.
you're talking about.
I'm ticked off.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the we're gonna rate it in a second, but I just want to say, like, yeah, it really is about dividing people and almost like religion. I mean, I feel like politics can almost be like religion, where somebody just like has blind faith for their party. It's like, yeah, you're this party, but question your party. Don't have blind faith, and it's okay to actually be friends with someone who has a different religion or a different political view than you, especially if they're a good person.
And I'm sorry, where it all comes down to where it all goes back to, in my opinion, it's the puppets behind the politicians, the corporations, the whole process of now a corporation is a person and they're viewed as no, because it's like, it doesn't ultimately function the same. You can't do the same thing to a corporation that you can do to a person. A corporation can't just die because it has a heart attack. It's this whole thing. I think we should do away with corporations being people, being an individual.
Well, let's rate it, because this is a very loaded song. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on. I mean, seriously, that's what's cool about it. It makes you think. It inspires me that he's willing to question how things are. And there often is backlash when you do that, especially on a platform like YouTube. I mean, we've had it, backlash for different things. Getting canceled, you
So
can
I'm
get
going
canceled.
to rate this one higher than you are.
You don't know that, because honestly, even though it's not my favorite sounding song, I am very much into lyrics. And
Yeah.
his lyrics are making a difference, and we need them right now.
I'm giving it an A.
Me too.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised.
We
Okay.
got both A's. Because the meaning.
Yeah.
The sound's good, and it has a good drop, good bass. He definitely is like singing well and everything, or rapping well, but it's not my favorite sound. I'm just being
But I
honest.
kind of like the sound. I really like that drop. I wouldn't have known to call it the drop.
Yeah.
But I like that sound. I mean, I like this song.
Yeah,
Just
I
in
get
general.
it.
And I like the message in it.
So yeah, hopefully we covered everything. I mean,
We didn't.
this is very loaded. Everything we could think about. I'll be editing this, and I'll be like, oh, I should have said this, should have said that. But that's okay. We'll react to him again, because he's been dropping a lot of songs lately. He's really cranking them out, and he's really doing well. And actually, people are pretty receptive to him. And he's like, oh, I think he's opening some conversations.
He's
starting
speaking some truth.
conversations.
He's-
Speaking the truth, the hard truth that's hard to say, because we're afraid to get canceled.
Yeah.
So let's wake up.
Yeah.
If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. We want our subscribers to go
Up.
Thank you for supporting us. It means everything. Oh, also hit that notification bell if you want
Please.
to. And wire us.
And Chris, love you long time.
Love you long time. See, love you long time. And we love everybody. We can love you if you like Trump or Biden or whatever. Just be a good person. Love you all. Thank you for supporting us.